Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new live episode of He Said, He Said, He Said, a look at the world from a seasoned Black man's perspective. I'm your host, Alvin King, and welcome to our Friday, October the 11th show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here tonight. I have a bit of, I won't say bad news, but we have a edit to our show tonight. Our featured guest, Lamont White, will not be here today. He is under the weather, ladies and gentlemen, and he could not be with us tonight. But for those of you who follow us and you have seen him before, he's been here. He has promised that he will be back, and as soon as he's feeling better, and we look forward to having Lamont to return with us on the show. But we are very, very happy that we have two special guests with us tonight who you will meet later. They're our contributing special guests, and we cannot wait for you to meet them to talk about dating dialogue, the do's and the don'ts. And we have put together a wonderful show for you tonight. It is National Coming Out Day, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you who don't know much about National Coming Out Day or how it was originated on October the 11th, it was chosen because it is the anniversary of the Second National March on Washington for Lesbian and Gay Rights that was held in 1987. And also on this day, the AIDS quilt was displayed for the first time on the National Mall right here in Washington, D.C. And the panels there were 1,920 panels, which was the size of a football field when it first was on display. I have seen it since then, and I guarantee you that number has tripled. So happy Coming Out Day, ladies and gentlemen. And I got to tell you, I am blessed that I didn't have to come out from anywhere. No closets, no arguments, just a place of love and appreciation for myself. So happy National Coming Out Day to everybody. It has been a crazy 2 weeks for our fellow friends and family in the South. Hurricane Milton ravishing the southeast portion of the country. And on the coattails of Helene, and the devastation was just as devastating as Katrina when it hit. Hurricane Milton made landfall near Siesta Key, Florida on Wednesday night at a Category 3 storm, and at least 16 people have died from the storm. Officials confirmed that there are more deaths, but they haven't given us the total number. Milton has moved across the Florida Peninsula on Thursday and over the Atlantic Ocean. So it's gone. Get out of here, Milton. We don't want to see you. But 2 million customers were without power and probably still is. So we're sending prayers to all of those who have been impacted by Hurricane Milton. 25 days left, ladies and gentlemen, for the election. 25 days. So my question to you, are you registered? Did you? And if you are, have you received your mail-in voting? I know I did. And look, ladies and gentlemen, we will tell you throughout this episode, you have to vote. You have to vote, preferably blue, but you have to vote. You have to vote, ladies and gentlemen, please. It is your civic duty. And, all of the two candidates, they've been on this talk show thing that they've been doing. But last night, Barack Obama showed up in Pittsburgh, and he showed up big. And his message was to Black men about getting their vote out. But today, when I turned on CNN, this young lady by the name of Nina Turner, the founder of We Are Something and the former Democratic Ohio State Senator, was on CNN criticizing President Obama and the Harris-Walsh campaign for bashing pro-Trump Black men and singling them out for their vote, she was saying that President Obama needs to reach out to all the men. I was like, girl. And then I thought, I was getting ready to get upset, but then I thought empty trash cans do make the most noise. And I just sat back and let her get her rubbish out and turned off CNN. But that was the most ridiculous thing that I heard. And the folks who were on that panel were just looking at her like she was crazy. Anyway, for my tennis fans, Rafael Nadal has officially retired from professional tennis, ladies and gentlemen. This 22-time Grand Slam champion revealed in a video on social media on yesterday. And he said, the reality is that it has been some difficult years, these last 2 years especially, and that he didn't think that he would be able to play without limitations. And he went on to say, and I think it is the appropriate time to put an end to a career that has been long and much more successful than I could have ever imagined. And we're going to say farewell to you, Rafael Nadal. I'm going to miss you. I know for anyone who likes tennis the way I do, we're going to miss Rafael Nadal. It is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And more than 360,000 people will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year. And we just hope that, that you go out and you get early testing so that you'll know what your prognosis are early so that you can, deal with, if you do get cancer, then you can deal with it. And it's not something that will, you'll learn about later on and you will succumb to that. And we do have a website that you could go to, which is www.breastcancernow.org. And if you want to learn more about breast cancer awareness, please visit www.breastcancernow.org, and we will have that link up for you soon. And also this week, before I close and bring Bobby on, yesterday was World Mental Health Day. And as we reflect on the importance of hope and healing, I found this song that I've heard and found an image to show of Donny Hathaway's heartfelt "Someday We'll Be Free." As you know, Donny Hathaway dealt with mental illness, and it reminds us that despite life's challenges, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So let's lift each other up and encourage open conversations about mental health, because he said, we know the importance of dealing with your mental health. And so we encourage all of you to at least, go out. If you know somebody that has mental health issues, talk to them. And there's also a website, www.nih.gov, where you can get more information about mental health awareness. All right. That's enough for me, ladies and gentlemen, but it is time to bring on my co-host. I don't do this by myself. So if you all are ready, let's get on with the chat. Bobby.
Well, then, first of all, I'm kind of digging the necklace. I'm like, when you were talking, doing your intro, I was like, look at that bling around that brother's neck.
Thank you. This is vintage bling, to be honest with you. I got to go out. I got to go on a limb and say that this is vintage bling. I think I've had this, thank you, this piece of jewelry for at least 25 years, Bobby. Can you? Yeah. And she's still.
With good bling? Yes, I can.
With good bling. Who do we have on here tonight? I think I saw Kendall pop up. Kendall, how you doing? And Sharon is here. Thanks. Monica's here. Thank you all for joining us on National Coming Out Day for our show on dating.
Absolutely. That was interesting also hearing about that, because, certainly as an out gay man.
Bobby is still here. He looked like he just, there he is.
Did I freeze? Are you there?
You did. I think you're back now. Yes, you're back now.
I was just saying that as an out gay man, one of the things that a very good friend of mine and ours, actually David Johns, who runs the National Black Justice Coalition, reminds us that it's not, as you were pointing out, always coming out. It's about inviting people people into our lives as well. So we have nothing to come out to. Like, it's just, we are being who we are, and we're inviting people in to our lives. So
that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, my brother is on here. Darren, thank you for joining us tonight.
Hey, G.
Thank you again. Hello, Kendall. As I mentioned, Bobby, our special guest had to cancel tonight. And he always brings the spice, and so he felt really bad. And literally
under the weather. Yes,
he definitely will join us again. But ladies and gentlemen, this is live TV, and the show must go on. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed by our special guest that we have here tonight. So, Bobby, I don't. Let's start off with this week,
Yes,
opening
yes,
up with the American Music Awards this week.
yes.
That happened last Sunday.
Yeah,
And they had some powerhouse performances.
they did. They did. And I
Gladys
know
Knight.
you were a little skeptical of some of them, but yes.
Oh, you know what? First of all, Gladys Knight, Shaka Khan,
Yes.
Mariah Carey, Jennifer Hudson, and Sheila E. They all performed. And I was a little skeptical, but all I can say, Jennifer Hudson's band was good because one of your friends was playing, right?
Yes,
Right.
one of my classmates,
Right.
Wayne Lindsay, Ziggy,
Right.
up there. Yep, was as part of Ricky Minor's band, and he did accompany Jennifer Hudson during her tribute to Whitney Houston. Yes.
Yeah, and everybody's like, because for those of you all who follow me on social media, first of all, everybody think that I dislike Jennifer. No, it's not. I don't even know her, so there's no way I can not like somebody I don't know.
Who would think that, Alvin?
Well, hopefully everybody who's listening right now, because I'm telling you, it's not that, but I just didn't believe her performance. There were other people that I thought could have done it. She's a great singer. I can't take anything away from her talent, but I really thought that I could have seen someone who had that low bravado that she had just didn't work for me. And that was it.
That night, whose performance impressed you that night?
Gladys. Period.
Yep.
After Gladys, I tried to go through.
Oral Health says she's too loud.
Yeah. And that was her softer side. Oral, that's what everybody's been telling me. I had to tell someone, first of all, don't come on my page telling me about stuff. This is my page, my post. So I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. But anyway, I digress. You're right. She's usually loud, but I like singers who are believable. I didn't believe that performance. That was it. That was what I have to say.
It's so funny because for those of you who may not know, both Alvin and I are long time fans of The Voice. And one of the things that the judges will sometimes say to people who are particularly good is that I believed you. Like I could feel you. I believed your emotion. I believed that you were delivering that song in a certain way. So when you say that, like you didn't believe her, I was like, okay, he's judging. He's on The Voice. He's doing his voice judge thing right now.
Well, see, I wasn't going to do this, Bobby, but if any of you saw The Voice this week, the first performance that came on, his name is Jay Paul. He has been a featured guest here on He Said, and Jay Paul performed and got a four-chair turn. He sings backup for Stephanie Mills, but he is phenomenal. And he's now on The Voice. And so
Hallelujah.
The crooner. What's the crooner? That's his what's the crooner? The judge?
Michael
Bublé. He selected Michael Bublé. So anyway, so that's what's going on. What else is going on, Bobby? What else is going on?
Everybody knows that at a certain time of the year that the Costume Institute at the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and they've announced their Spring 25 exhibit. And it's going to be called Superfine, Tailoring Black Style, which will celebrate Black dandyism from the 18th century through its revival during the Harlem Renaissance and its impact on luxury fashion today. And it is historic because this is the first exhibit at the Met that will focus exclusively on Black design.
Well, Black design, but it's also even more monumental because five Black men will chair, and this hasn't been done in 20 years since the Dandy, where they've had Black men they had an exhibit that featured Black menswear, and correct. So now this year we have LeBron James,
yes,
Pharrell Williams,
yes,
A$AP Rocky, Coleman Domingo, and Lewis Hamilton. I am here for it. When I tell you on June 16th, my birthday next year, I plan to be at the Met. Oh, because I'm going to see that exhibit. No, the exhibit. That's going to, it opens on May the 6th.
Yep.
Yes. So,
but it is historic. Not only that the exhibit itself will focus exclusively on Black design, but to have 5 Black men, chair the gala. Now, I will say this also. There is a slight bit of concern and backlash. And the concern
Okay.
is that there is often a misinterpretation on the red carpet, because there's always this theme that people are supposed to interpret through their attire. And to be very honest with you, because it is exclusively Black and there are 5 designers, there is really the concern that someone could actually show up in blackface.
I pity the fool, is what I'm going to say. Do not. That will be revealed. But if anybody,
we shouldn't even have to say don't do it. But it's an interesting, because it was one of the things that one of the newspapers said, that because people often misinterpret it, because last year it was something about the secret garden, and people would sometimes show up in an outfit and people I don't get that. Why would that doesn't match? And people were saying, because of the focus on Black men, Black male fashion, dandyism, could somebody cross that line?
All I'm going to say, first of all, there are 2 people that I know will not be there. Not that they would do it, but Billy Porter has been disinvited by Anna Wintour, so he will not be there. Oh yeah, that was last year. That's why he wasn't there. So Anna Wintour has disinvited. Not that she shares her guest list with me. I just happen to read a lot. And then Kanye West is not going to be there. Okay, so
okay, all right then. Okay,
so but I hope that no one does that. In all seriousness, I just think that would be ridiculous.
And I agree with you, but yeah. I think it goes back to that notion that sometimes people have believed that in their attempt to honor a person of color, say for instance, Juliana Huff, that comes to mind, the dancer from Dancing with the Stars, and she was trying to portray someone for Halloween, and she literally, and it was a Black person that she was trying to portray. I'm trying to remember who it was, but she darkened her skin, to be convincing as that person. People were like, do you realize that's blackface? Like, you can't do that. So I'm not suggesting that someone would do it intentionally, but because people sometimes lose their sense of interpretation, and hopefully, as I said, you shouldn't even have to say it.
I know. I just hope that doesn't. How you doing, George?
Hey, George.
Thank you for being on the show tonight. Yeah, I just hope that doesn't happen. Well, since we're in the fashion arena, I'm going to kind of close off our chat with something, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who know, Naomi Campbell, she is in the news again. Naomi Campbell is accused of embezzling money from her own charity and was thrown off of her board, the board of a charity that she started. Naomi Campbell's charity, Fashion for Relief, was reported by UNICEF to a watchdog, and it has emerged that after a claim to be working with a global children's charity. And UNICEF UK told the BBC News that it has never been a partner with Fashion for Relief and had not received any funds for any event to be held in 2019, reportedly to raise money for it. Now, what they are accusing Naomi Campbell of they're accusing her of stealing the money to pay for a hotel. To pay for money was spent. They found that funds were spent on a luxury hotel and spa treatments and this happened on September 26th. That's when I first saw it. But I wanted to see if it wasn't some kind of, messy news and it was going to go away. I didn't know. But it's true. And on October 4th, they told her that she had to step down from her own board because she spent money. Is she a millionaire?
Many times over.
I'm just like,
estimated value is somewhere in the area of like $80 million. Like,
okay. We just had a conversation about her being late. Now we got to have a conversation about her embezzling. People, you got to do better.
And embezzling in such an egregious way, under any circumstance, it would not be appropriate. Yeah. But to stay at a luxury hotel that you could afford,
correct.
Yeah,
correct.
I said to Alvin when we were discussing in the show, getting prepped for the show, that I have literally bowed down at Naomi Campbell for decades because I think there is no one that can walk a runway like her. But she is really making it difficult for me to like her right now.
She is. Wait a minute, we got some folks have just joined us. Alma, thank you for being here. Pauline Crump, hey, Tech Eye, thank you for being here tonight. JJ is here. Glenn Baker's here. Thank you. Glenn said it sounds like grand larceny to me. I don't know much about the law in that regard, but I know she stole something, that wasn't hers. So. Okay. Naomi, again, as I said earlier, you have to do better.
Yeah.
Gotta do better. Gotta do better.
We've seen some of these new faces in here. And Pauline and I were neighbors, and I know that we share her as mutual friends. She's Madam Secretary. She calls me Mr. President. She is Madam Secretary to me. Well,
we walk the halls of McKinley Tech together. Okay, so great to see you, Rodney from Philadelphia. Hey, welcome, my friend. Thank you. Good to be here. Hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are tuning in, our special guest, Lamont White, our favorite gay dating coach, canceled tonight because he's under the weather, but he promises that he will be back. But as serendipitous
Lee
things could happen. We have two very special guests tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our contributing guests, and I'm so excited that they are joining us to have this conversation, dating dialogue, do's and don'ts. And trust me, we're ready for them too. So if you all are ready, Bobby, if you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and get a couple of introductions in before we bring them in. You ready?
Bring them in.
All right, our first contributing guest, her name is Michelle Sims. She is a native Washingtonian who has made it her mission to reach back into her Southeast community through outreach and mentoring to enhance lives of young girls and women in the DMV. The 12th of 12 children raised by a single mother in Southeast Washington, Michelle was always surrounded by extreme love and a strong sense of belonging. Michelle has sponsored workshops and partnered with Covenant House, Washington, D.C., Mount Carmel Shelter for Women, the Goodman League, DC, Department of Recreation, Prince George's County Department of Parks and Planning, various churches, as well as local civic organizations to promote a safe space of sisterly love for young women in the DMV through open forums, roundtable discussions, and fireside chats.
Come on, Michelle Sims.
Our next guest, Maurice Scott, the man with the golden voice, is a transplant of North Carolina as a kid to Washington, D.C., who has been here most of his life. He's worked in multiple industries, from legal to sales to technology to emergency response. Maurice is the owner and CEO of his own media company, specializes in voice acting. He loves to travel, the arts, cultural events and festivals, photography, which he's excellent at, concerts, especially smaller, intimate ones, learning about different people and places and cultures, and learning more about his big spinning rock that we all share. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the He Said platform, Michelle Sims and Maurice Scott. We see you.
Hey.
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome.
Thank you for being here tonight. And I know you all are going to bring it, and I can't wait. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this off with a little icebreaker, first of all, to get you all, nice and tight and warmed up. So, Maurice and Michelle. And Michelle, you can start. Always ladies first. Again, thank you for being here. If you could describe your dating experience in one word, what would it be?
Hell.
Did you say Michelle?
Hell.
You said hell. Michelle said hell. And what about
Hell? Hell.
What about you, Maurice?
Non-existent.
Okay. Well,
I'll go with hell, but non-existent also.
Well, it sounds like, well, and I don't know everybody's age here, but I can say that at least we can buy liquor, number one.
True.
I know that.
You need a lot of that for dating in DC.
And say that again, Maurice.
You need a lot of that for dating.
Okay, well, welcome to our show, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to move on because we want to make sure we get every question, and viewers, you all can respond if you like. Okay, please do.
Okay, so my next question for you is, I'm not outing anybody's age or anything like that, but as someone in their 40s, 50s, talk to us about the unique challenges in the dating scene. For instance, navigating societal expectations around age, race, whatever. What are some of the unique experiences of being mature daters? And Maurice, we'll start with you since we started with Michelle last.
Okay, excellent. Actually, I want to correct one thing. I am a native of Washington, D.C.
Oh.
Yes.
See, I'm gonna have a drink on that. Okay, hold on.
It's a little bit more difficult because I won't say you're set in your ways, but you just don't deal with a lot of the things that you dealt with when you were younger. There are a lot of people, and I hate to say it, within the community, they're still stuck up on a certain lifestyle. They're going out a lot of times. It's just very stereotypical. And sometimes when you're older, you're just not into a lot of that stuff. So it makes it really difficult. And then you have your career, you have your set friends, and then just trying to mesh all that together with someone that's not on the same page. And it seems like there are a lot of people that aren't on the same page. It's just really difficult.
I can say amen to that. And Michelle.
I agree 100%. If I could, I think I'm going to add to that time. I think people over 40, when you have your career established, some of us are taking care of elderly parents, right? Some of us have children. Some of us have businesses that we're establishing. So it is a matter of limiting your time, right? For me, my time is critical, and you just can't sit in my face and play with it. I often tell people, if I invite you into this circle of mine, then you should count it a privilege, because I don't take that lightly. I come from a very large family. I am loved. I have seen love. I have given love. So I don't play with this thing. We'll get into dating versus seeing someone a little bit later. But yeah, I'd have to say time, right? And I often tell people that I entertain, if you cannot respect my presence, you will have to accept my absence.
Yes.
Amen. Hashtag. There's a lot of hashtags tonight. Sure, Maurice, go right ahead.
One of the other things too is it seems like there are a lot of people that want to date multiple people. And I'm just not into that. If I'm putting my time, energy, and effort into you, it's you. I'm not trying to talk to a bunch of other people. I'm talking to you, and that's it. But it seems like there are a lot of people who just want to play the field. It seems like it's almost like a game of conquer and divide. If I can conquer for this moment, then I win, and then I move on to the next person.
Yeah.
For me, it seems like a game of whack-a-mole, right?
Well, see, and you all, we're going to circle back to some of those comments that you just made, okay? Because, and Raw Health said, I'm not opposed to going out for a good time, but do not want to be around kids and the foolishness they often bring to a venue. Yeah. You call, yeah. I'm not going to judge anybody. Yeah, Raw. Yeah.
Actually,
so I'm sorry, Maurice, you gonna say something?
One thing that I meant to say earlier that I didn't say, I think within the last maybe 15 years, the internet's changed a lot of things as well. I was looking at something earlier today, and I was saying how a lot of people used to meet was between, my family and friends. Now, the majority of the way people that meet are internet. And I think that's changed the culture. People don't really communicate like they used to. They don't go out. They don't get the time. Well, they don't court. If you want to go back to that, they just don't have that time to connect like they used to.
Well, you say that they don't court. They think that that's courting. So, Michelle and Maurice, how do you approach setting boundaries in relationships, particularly when dating a seasoned individual with life experiences, and what role does self-care play in all of that? Now, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But boundaries are the first part of it, like setting the boundaries.
Yeah. Again, you can't play with my time. I'm very forward in my thinking and very vocal about being forward in it. So case in point, just had a gentleman come up on me while I was on lunch break. He said, "Hey, what you think about this jacket?" And I said, "I don't. You have to wear the jacket, not me," right? So I move on and go. I'm halfway down another aisle, and he comes and he says, "No, really, I want you to do, sir, what are you trying to ask me?" He was like, "I was thinking maybe we could grab a slice." You should have started with that. Unfortunately, I don't eat pizza, so no, we can't grab a slice. But be very intentional with me. Be very intentional with my time, right? I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to be meaningful. I need you to be clear in how you handle me. So that's one, setting your boundaries. Two, I think self-care plays a big role in that. I'm doing work on me, right? I've been through some things. I'm not 20 or 30. I'm over 40. So investing time in yourself, having hobbies, things that you value, because I'm a good date, even if I have to date myself, right? And I often do.
Hallelujah.
I think you have to make that a priority. You have to make yourself a priority. And I think when you do the work, you invest in yourself, I think others will see that, even if you are trying to slip shopping in on a lunch break at Nordstrom and somebody followed you.
Amen. I need to get my plate out. Maurice?
Well, I love what Michelle just said. One of the things for me about setting boundaries, time. Time is very important to me. If I connect with you, you don't communicate with me, there's a lag between communications.
Yeah.
You're no longer getting my time or my effort or my energy. That's the biggest thing. And then self-care. I'm very upfront about who I am, my life that I live, and what I need. And if you can't meet that just off the beginning, then I don't need to be with you, because we're not going to be a match. There's going to be too much conflict, too much struggle back and forth between the two of us. And at this age, I didn't deal with it when I was younger, and at this age, I'm definitely not going to deal with it.
Yeah.
So, I think we have chosen well our guests tonight. They are bringing it.
I'm telling you.
This is for, if I may, this is for you and Alvin, Bobby. What does self-care look like to you all, right? Because everyone said, again, mentoring women, and I mentor from 13 up to 40, right? And I originally did not mentor teenagers, but I got tired of talking to adult women who were broken and shattered because of their experiences with the opposite sex and in this dating era, right? And so one night when I was sleeping, a light went off. God said, "Don't get them when they're shattered. Get them before they break. Get the teenagers."
Come on.
And so that is my mission. But what does self-care look like to you? Because it's not a bubble bath and nails for me. That's fluff and stuff. I'm here to do the work.
Yeah.
Bobby?
I guess for me, I would say that a lot of it boils down to really seeking truth and honesty from the beginning. Because I think people waste so much time because, as Maurice was saying, for many people now, the way that you meet people is online. And the number of times I have looked at my friends' profiles and been like, that picture is old.
Yeah.
That is not your real age. That's not even your real name. It's like, I just feel like so many relationships now, unfortunately, start off with mistruths and deception around certain things that, by the time you show up at the coffee house or whatever to meet them, first of all, you're sitting there going like, wait, is that him? Like it doesn't look like the picture. They're not. So for me, it really, the foundation of truth and transparency is really important.
I have what I call a 3-point plan as far as dating's concerned. First of all, you meet, you date, and then you plan. And if those three things are not connected, if there's a break in any of those, it's time for me to move on. A person who doesn't have a plan is not good for my self-care. And so I know me enough to know how I want to be loved. And I will tell you, I will communicate that to you in every way possible. But a person who's incapable of hearing you will not get that. And so it's taken me 65 years to be at a place where I can say that with conviction and confidence and say, oh, well, you're not for me. So,
and that's all right. And that's all right.
And it's okay.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
okay, because you have to take responsibility for staying in situations that don't make you feel good.
Yeah.
Don't blame the other person.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
You have to take responsibility.
True.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you, Michelle, because I wasn't ready. I was trying to get y'all.
I was like, wait, she's asking.
Damn, Michelle said, how you and Bobby feel about that?
No, yeah, I often think of that, from a male's perspective, because I can only speak to the women's perspective.
Correct.
But oftentimes women are misled by thinking that, oh, let me go take a bath, or let me go shopping, or you still have to do the inner work, right? And you still have to set boundaries. I think you need to know what it is you desire, what it is you're willing to allow, and what it is you're willing to compromise on. And for some people, it's a whole lot. For me, not so much.
Yeah.
Right. Same here.
Amen.
And I will add one thing Michelle was saying earlier is I love to date myself. So I'm always, taking myself out to dinner, concert, traveling by myself, doing whatever. I'm treating myself as if I would treat my partner, my husband, whoever that may be.
Absolutely.
Back in the 90s, I read a book called Finding the Boyfriend Within by Bradley Gooch. And ever since I read that book, it was like, I'm my own boyfriend. So I'm going to treat myself as my partner.
Yeah.
And if I can't find someone to match that, then I don't want to be with you.
I love that notion. Yeah.
But I wonder how many people out there are able to date themselves comfortably. Date other people.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So we talked about match. A couple of you have mentioned that whole notion of like being kind of aligned and so forth. Now, I have always found that first dates can be magical. They can also be terribly awkward because like you're trying to figure out what you want to share, what you don't want to share with other person. So if the first date is not magical, if it's not spectacular, does one get a second chance? Is there a second date when that first date is not particularly good?
It depends.
I'm with Maurice. Yeah, I echo you. It depends on the date.
Yeah. I mean, first time, you never know what someone's going through. They could have had a bad day. It could have been a long day at work, anything. So I'm willing to give them a second chance. But if that second chance falls off the cliff, no.
So that would be it. Two for you. Michelle, what about you?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Let me see.
No laugh. We had this conversation offline. Honestly,
we did.
And then I want to get to something Alma had mentioned about friendships and relationships.
Yes, Alma, we saw that question. Good. Okay.
Yes, but now let me just tell you, maybe it's me, and I was very sincere when I stated this. I believe the dating pool here in the DMV is tainted. Listen, you don't get a second chance with me. First of all, we made plans, right? If I say yes, I will go out with you on a date. I am not expecting you to say, well, where do you want to go? No, you asked me out. I'm expecting you to have a plan. And if it doesn't go according to plan, and I really have done this. I was at this was years ago, Alvin. I'm not going to date myself, but we were at a chain restaurant, right? And I ordered salmon. And the person I was out on the date with ordered the herb chicken. And I said, is that anything like herb chicken? Oh! And he said, oh, herb. It's an H, it's herb. Tomato. I have to go to the restroom, and I was going to leave. I was planning on leaving out the back door, but I left my purse under the damn table. I had to come back. But anyway, so I digress. No, you don't get a second chance. Again, you must be intentional with me. I'm not coming back. I'm not for this. Again, I can date.
I've never heard it.
At least he didn't ask you, were you having salmon? At least. To
your point, there was another date, right? So I'm out, and we were at a very pricey restaurant. This person was significantly younger, and I'm going to say the tab came up to about $800-900. It was just the two of us. Woo! And so, and I know I put on my best that night. And we leave. And so I said, oh, thank you for the date. It was wonderful. He was like, I was thinking we could go back to the hotel. I said, what hotel? We were at a restaurant. He said, no, the hotel. No, sweetheart, that meal was $800, not $8,000, not $850. It's going to cost a lot more to get me in a hotel. And you probably should have just asked me to go to the hotel and skip the $800 meal. I had given it away for less, but Again, I digress.
That is one thing I hate.
Yeah, I can't. Let's get to
That's one thing I hate. Like anyone just expecting sex because you go on a date.
Correct. Correct.
Not for no herb chicken, no.
But hold on. No. Let Maurice finish his statement because I want to get some of these some of our viewers. I want to get some of these points. Go ahead, Maurice.
That was a statement. But I was just going to say, Michelle reminded me of a date that I went on once. Met this guy. He said he was going to get a haircut, so I met him at the barber's. It was raining. Offered him an umbrella. He's like, "No, I'm fine." I was like being a gentleman, just to walk him down the street to the restaurant. Asked him, "Well, would you like to go to this restaurant?" I was like, "No, I went there on a date before." Okay, well, what about this restaurant? No, I went there on a date before, and he proceeded to tell me about the date. So we finally get to a restaurant, and we're sitting there, and we're talking about art and a bunch of other stuff. He's constantly looking around, looking at guys walking down the street. I'm like, okay, this isn't really going anywhere, but at least I'm going to finish the date. The bill comes. I take the check. I put my card down and then set it back down. Then he grabs it, takes his card and puts it in there. And I'm like, I'm paying for this. So the waiter takes the check, comes back, and then all of a sudden he gets up and makes a scene at the restaurant. It was like, well, whenever you invite anyone on a date, you should be paying for this. I'm like, I took the bill, put my card, and set it down waiting for the waiter. No one asked you to put the card down. That was your choice. So we haven't spoken to this day, and that was like 10 years ago. And I see him all the time.
I was going to say, that was not a second date.
No, that was not a second date.
No.
Well,
and he's spoken to me since then.
Maurice and Michelle, we have like 6 questions that we're going to get to because we need to get through these because there's some things that I know our viewers want to hear from you because your opinion is quite important. And well, Alma said, is anyone taking time to invest in friendships that evolve into relationships? I, for one, am. I believe in that. I think that's very important. She also said, yes, it should be a second date if you're kind of liking that person.
Yes.
I know Glenn is screaming about Herb. I know he is. I know he is.
Him too. Herb chicken.
And Pauline said, very much tainted. At 65 and not dating in 15 years, I'm terrified and wouldn't know where to begin. I'm very comfortable dating me.
Amen.
As you should. As you should. Be afraid. Be afraid.
Be very afraid.
Be very afraid. Okay, we got like 8. So, guys, let me ask you this, because this term is used a lot, and I don't know if it's used correctly. Dating down is a term used to describe when someone chooses to date someone who is not at the same level in life, such as education, finances, and emotional intelligence. This can lead to imbalance of power in a relationship, which can cause complications. What are some of the tell signs that you're dating down if you're in a relationship?
Before you answer, just look at Michelle's face. Just look at her. You talk about dating, and she is like, reading your body language. You are like,
is that really a thing, dating down?
Well, actually, if dating down is not, like I said, a lot of people tend to associate it with economic background. They tend to, associate it with education. But emotional, when a person doesn't have emotional intelligence, that doesn't come right at you.
Right.
It doesn't. So that has been a term that people are using now to say, well, wait a minute, I can't be in this relationship anymore. I got to get out. And it's usually emotional intelligence don't show up in the beginning. You know if they broke. You know if they lied about the school, whatever, but that's going to come out soon. But the emotional intelligence part, you typically find that after you get into the relationship.
So are we talking about relationships or dating? Because
dating, I think.
Well, dating. I mean, because you date. Hopefully you'll find out before you get into a relationship.
Right.
Right. But I'm just saying, have you ever run into anything like that?
No.
Okay.
I can't say that I've always dated up. And I don't know if that's for me being a sugar baby or what. I
Well, see, but I think also you're looking at it. Are we looking finances? Because when you say sugar, is that
I'm talking about someone who I deem worthy of spending an evening with, right? I don't care if it's 2 hours, 3 hours, 24 hours, if you're really that man. But
okay?
No, I'm not just going out with you to go. First of all, I can feed myself. So if we're going out on a day, that's fine. To dinner, that's fine. If we're going to the movies, I'm not sitting in a dark spot with you for 2 hours where we can't converse. So that's out. I don't.
So you don't have any experience with dating down?
No,
not at all.
Okay. How about you, Maurice?
Yeah, I have. And it took me a little while to find out. And for me, dating down has to deal with emotional intelligence, personality, character, and just where you are mentally. The superficial things like your education and your finance doesn't matter to me that much. As long as you're able to support yourself, you're working and you have a goal that you're working towards, I'm fine with that. And you have baggage, I'm fine with that. As long as your suitcase isn't locked and you're working on it and actively taking clothes out and hanging them up, fine. But if you're just stuck where you are mentally, then get help and then talk to me later. But yeah, I have had experiences with that. So I try to avoid that. But the only way to avoid that is by communicating.
Yeah.
And I know we're gonna bring this whole show back again, because I'm just telling y'all, because
we have to have a part two. I feel it.
We gotta have a part two. But let's keep going, because I got to get to the end, because I know you all are just ready for this.
So we're talking about different types of relationships and so forth. And one of the things, I'm a diversity practitioner as an educator as well, and we often talk about cross-cultural experiences and so forth. Have you ever dated outside of your own culture, different race? What are you laughing at, Michelle? What?
Are you looking into my life? Maurice, if you want to answer that first, because clearly yours is going to be more sensical. Because here comes the shenanigans.
But cross-cultural or interracial? Have you dated outside of your own experience?
I'm an international man. I've dated white, I've dated West African, I've dated South African, I've dated Italian, I've dated Eastern, I've dated Asian. One of the relationships I was in when I was younger for 3.5 years, he was mixed with French, Japanese, Nigerian, and Italian. So yeah, I've dated around.
Was it challenging? Were there challenges as a result of that, or were they just challenges because of the personality of the person? Very quickly, because I know we got to get
to... Yeah, I won't say challenging. It was just different, learning our cultures. So it wasn't challenging for me. It was just learning the cultures. And I'm the type of person that I love different cultures. I love experiencing, finding out about different people. So it wasn't a challenge for me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Michelle?
There is a song, "Been Around the World," and anyway, I have tasted the rainbow, and I'm telling you, if I had my druthers, I think the only one I would go back to, and I often joke about this, I'm going to date me an Asian. That way I'll have weave, lashes, and nails for life, honey. That's all I really want in this life.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
I so appreciate that, because it was pointed out to me by some of my friends years ago that they're like, "Bobby, have you ever dated someone that doesn't have an accent?" And I didn't even they were like, you are against American men. And I didn't really even think about it. But then the longest relationship, my 18-year relationship with my partner, Arthur, he's Liberian. And I just, so I guess it's true.
Liberians are hot. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Cameroonians, Nigerians, Ghanaian.
Shout out today. Okay.
I will say really quick, I did date someone from Pakistan, and no, this one was from Ethiopia. Went out, had fun, had a great night, a great week. Went shopping. This man spent quite a bit of money. It was early in the day, and so we finished up, came back home, and I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna get some rest, take a nap, and then I'll meet up with you later for dinner." And he said, "Oh, I'm gonna take a nap too." And I said, "Okay, well, just call me." He said, "No, I'm coming with you. Take a nap." And I said, "No, that's not how we do it in the States." And he said, "For blank amount of dollars that I just spent on you, we're gonna do it in the States."
Oh.
And my mother, God rest her soul, said, "Well, what did you expect for that amount of money, Michelle?" I don't know.
So
that sounds like Middle Eastern guys and Italian guys.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at
possessive.
that. So, yeah.
well, if you all look at Emily in Paris, it's truly all over there. I mean, because that's what they do. That's what they've shown you in these in these shows. I mean, that's what they've shown you. So, real quick, if I can, have any of you ever been in a friends with benefits relationship that they now call a situation?
Okay.
And if so, my question is, how do you end it?
Wait,
I don't call it friends with benefits.
now, did you defer to Maurice on this one, or what did you say?
I refer since Michelle is her something's wrong with her back because she keeps moving back and forth. I'm gonna have Michelle
And Maurice just laughed. Maurice just
Maurice is like, leave it to this crazy.
No, I'm gonna give it to Michelle. So quickly, tell me, have you ever been in a friends with benefits relationship? And if so, how do you end it?
I don't call them friends, right? But I have been in situations where it was simply benefits. And on a more serious note, there were individuals who we were acquaintances, and they thought that it was something more. And I had to step back and say, what you and I do. They invited me to a family event, and I said, we don't do that. What we do is just you and I behind closed doors. And he said, no, but I thought maybe, no, you knew this going in with your eyes wide open. I'm not going to meet your family. What we do is hang and bang, and that's it.
Oh Lord, okay.
There's not anything else, right?
Wow.
So be very clear on how you navigate. I think that plays a big role in it. No,
Communication in that regard. See, Alma called it entanglement, and then I said they call it situations. How you doing, Eric Shields? I'm so glad you're here. But Maurice, how about you? Because you were laughing.
He was. He didn't even say. He just
got benefits, of course.
Come on, Maurice.
Obviously, the answer is yes.
If your
say it, Maurice.
You said what, Maurice?
And I wouldn't really call them friends. I would, similar to Michelle, I would say acquaintances. And I didn't really have to end it. They did. I don't know how, but both of them told me that they loved me. I had no feelings for them except for the entanglement part. So I told them I wasn't in love with them, and they ended it.
Oh wow.
Okay, well,
Okay.
we're gonna go to the next one because I don't want y'all asking me or Bobby how we feel.
Okay. Right. Before you
No, I want to
Really?
Our next question has to do with the whole notion. Yes, Michelle. Yeah, so we pushed right through that. So our next question is the question of proximity. Sometimes you find the right person and they're geographically not desirable, or you meet them in a certain situation and you're not in the same city. Can long distance relationships really last? Oh, okay, Maurice, can I finish the question? Shaking his head, no. Okay, so even with the advancement of technology, what is your take on long distance relationships, Maurice? Since you've already shaken no.
I mean, they can work if you have the resources. I have friends that have been together for 20, 30 years. They live in 2 different countries, but they have the resources to travel back and forth every week or every month. Or
I know
live here for 6 months. Or live here for
I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
And they do have the resources to do that.
Yeah. For me, I'm a very touchy-feely person. You know, if I want to reach out and touch you, I want to reach out and touch you. I don't want to have to travel a couple hours. Shucks, I don't even want to travel 30 minutes if I don't have to. But I want to be able to communicate with my partner. I want to be able to touch them. I want us to be able to go out whenever we want. I don't want to have to go on what do they call them now? The dates that they do over the phone, where you may go to a restaurant together, and you're in 2 different states, and you just have FaceTime. Basically.
I cannot. So how about you, Michelle?
What in the T-Mobile is going on with funk? You know what? I cannot. I do not. But I can say, if I have to answer it, then I'm going to say I've never done a long distance. But I want to be in a situation where if I'm dating you, I want to feel like you're right there with me, and you could be clean across this continent. That's what I want.
Mm.
Have I had that? No, but yeah,
That's difficult. It's really hard.
it is. It is.
I've done long distance. I've dated someone in Paris. I've dated someone in South Africa. I've dated someone in Nigeria. It's difficult. I mean, I've dealt with people here in the States, New York, Chicago, LA. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I want, like you're saying, I want to feel that we're together. So I want you here with me.
Yeah. I am not going past Baltimore, and I'm not going past Crystal City. Okay. The end. Okay. Done. I'm telling you, I'm not. It takes 45 minutes to get to both of those sides from DC where I live. And that is it. Okay.
45 minutes is too long.
Wait, Bobby didn't answer. Bobby, are you going across the continent?
No. I did the long distance thing. Arthur and I, he was in Boston when I moved down to DC. And we tried to make it work, but in the end it did not. But no, it's hard. And I'm like Maurice. I'm a very affectionate, physical person. I hug my friends. You all know how much I hug y'all. Like it's friends. So if I'm intimately involved with someone, like I want that proximity. It's getting cold outside. I like to snuggle. Like yeah.
I'm a big cuddler.
Jesus, Lord Jesus. I told y'all get a bed warmer. Okay,
you did.
Okay, I said get a bed warmer.
And I think Maurice pointed out that you've been through 3 of them.
Okay.
He did say this is my 3rd one.
He didn't say that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have just emailed text my producer because this conversation is so lively. We're going to go a couple of minutes over because I'm a stickler for time. That's why people love me, because I'm on time. But we're going to go over because this conversation is so good, and we have a couple more questions, and we got a little game that we want to play with our special guest tonight. So, okay. Well, my last question for you guys is, how do you maintain your sense of self-worth and confidence when dealing with rejection or dating experiences that don't align with your expectations?
So he's trying to end on a deep note, clearly. Like,
look. Both of them put Michelle got her chin in her hand, and Maurice is looking like,
Huh? Rejected.
Wait!
I don't know. Listen, I know the power of my P, and that's potential, honey.
Okay, because I was going to say she sure went to the bridge.
So dirty. I know that. So I know that I am who I am. I know that, again, I stated at the top, I am a very affectionate person. I demand that at the least, that someone be able to reciprocate what I provide, right?
No, I get you. I get that. I get that.
I'm going to leave it at that and wait for Maurice. But I've never been rejected. I can honestly say there are situations that did not work out. And I have a lot, Bobby, I have a lot of jewelry for reference that I received as cancellation prizes for playing the dating game. So I'm very happy for that. Nice piece.
Like a lovely party.
I love that.
Give her Tiffany's.
Lovely party gift.
I love that. Give her Tiffany's. And then Maurice and you, black man.
Well, a no is a no. You just move on. And I think for me, people that know me know my life. There's nothing that anyone can say, do, that's going to make me feel bad about myself, about rejection. So it doesn't make a difference to me. If you say no, you say no. I move on.
Okay.
I'm still a yes. So.
Oh, I love it.
I'm with both of you. I personally handle rejection very well because I love myself enough, and it's not a conceited thing. It's just that if I'm not good enough for you, move on. I am not going to beat myself down to make you feel good, and so that is not going to happen. So Maurice and Michelle, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm sorry, and Bobby, have you ever been rejected?
I have been rejected, and it hurts if it's someone that you really like. Yeah. But rejection does not destroy me. Like all I'm saying is that it can hurt because
Yeah.
I really like that
Yeah.
person. I was hoping that this
Yeah.
would work.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely there with you all. Like I prefer to not have the relationship if it's not going to be one that's reciprocal.
Yeah.
Where, you know, because I'm like, I want to be loved. I'm a hard lover. I love 110%, and you can't be coming at me with 80. Like that's what we deal with. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're not doing that.
Right.
And I didn't want to send the message that rejection doesn't hurt. It does hurt. And, you know, it does hurt. But I know how to manage that hurt. You know, but I got a lot going on. Hell, I'm about as creative as they come. So if I can pour that pain into, you know, a project,
Right.
and I'm going to do that. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't want to seem like I'm some empty shell and that I don't hurt, because Lord, I done curled up on the bed a couple of times, but you know.
Or as Cindy Ott always says, I had to slide down the wall.
Okay. So Sharon said, I think it'll make you stronger for the next relationship, or make it harder for the next relationship if they don't come correct.
That's right, Sharon. Yeah.
Sharon. So look, you all, go ahead, sweetheart. No,
really
go ahead.
quickly, I will tell you, because I will do myself a disservice. I cannot say that I am a mentor or a champion of women in relationships. I will tell you what I tell my women. There are so many times that you can lay down and be someone's doormat before you pick yourself up and become the matador. And you really do need to know when your ship has sailed, whether that's a relationship, partnership, friendship. You do need to know when it has sailed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here, people. No freaking shit.
And grab your oar and move on. Look, viewers. First of all, if you all could just put a smiley face in the comment to show some love for Michelle and Maurice tonight, okay? And this conversation, I mean, this has been, like I said, I knew it was going to be full. I love you guys. And I knew it was going to be exactly what it was going to be when Bobby and I at 4:30 looked at each other and said, we got to rearrange this show. We got this. But we can't let you all go without a little game. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to play a little rapid fire with them. Okay. And, you know, it's going to be short. But Bobby and I wanted to, again, we're going to ask you these questions and you.
What's going to come to your mind?
Whatever comes to your mind. So, Bobby, you take us out.
Okay. Michelle?
Yes.
We'll go with you first, and then we'll go to Maurice.
Okay.
Your biggest turn on?
Eyes. I love a good set of eyes. Oh my goodness, yes.
Maurice.
Ooh. Okay, eyes and smile. And back and shoulders.
One word.
Really, Maurice?
Michelle, follow the rule.
Right. How would you describe your perfect kiss, Maurice?
The perfect kiss. I don't like kisses that are, I feel like I'm diving in a swimming pool.
Well, what is your perfect kiss?
You know what you're doing. You're not examining my mouth. I haven't kissed anyone in so long.
And I don't blame you, Maurice. Again, you know.
Wait a minute, Michelle. How would you describe your perfect kiss? I'm not messing with him. Okay.
The perfect kiss that I've had has been right here.
Oh wow.
See? Okay.
Sorry, yes.
Okay. Quick answer. Instant deal breaker.
Deceit.
Instant deal breaker. Just a bad spirit.
Neither one of y'all said bad hygiene. You know,
no, I can almost deal with that. But and it's not even that you would lie to me. It's that you don't even think I'm worth the truth.
Okay,
that hurts.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. Okay.
Hygiene could be cleaned
up. What is the most flirtatious thing that you've ever done, Michelle?
That you can say online.
We were at dinner, celebrating a girlfriend's birthday, and the waiter came up and said, "Hi, I'm so and so and so and so." Girlfriend to the left said, "Hi, I'm so and so and so and so. Hey, I'm so and so and so and so." And I said, "Hey, I am available."
Ooh.
All right, all right, all right.
So
And
you know we
Maurice-
didn't pay for her dinner that night, right?
Maurice,
Oh my God.
what is the most flirtatious
here.
thing that you've ever done, Maurice?
Ooh.
You can say on.
Thank you. Exactly.
I mean, if you walked into a bathroom and stood beside her, I get it. I mean, I just want to know what is it? What is it? I just want to know what is it? What is it?
Is this flirtation for a stranger or someone?
We have 10 seconds, Maurice. Maurice, what is it? What is it, Maurice?
I mean, I bought a stranger flowers. I mean,
Oh,
someone that I thought was attractive. I bought them flowers.
You're
Right.
such a punk.
ladies and gentlemen, Maurice is available. He's so green. He has not done anything. You all can find him at he said live. Email us. He said live at Gmail, and with his permission, we'll provide you with this information.
There it is.
Okay. Well,
Michelle, it's right here. That's right there. Okay.
And I love kisses there.
Right
too.
there.
And there.
Alvin, this has been.
And a bunch of other places.
You all have
I'm
been
sorry,
incredible.
Bobby.
I'm just. This has
Yes.
been incredible. We got to have a part 2 or dating.
We will definitely have a part 2. And next week, ladies and gentlemen, October the 18th, we're doing our Let's Get Newsy. We are back. We're getting close to the election, and there's a lot of news that's out there. But I want to take this time to personally thank Michelle and Maurice for stepping in. And ladies and gentlemen, they didn't know this was a change to the script for them, because you stepped up to the plate and gave us everything that we wanted tonight. Thank you. And the viewers loved it. They said a part 3 and 4. Y'all better go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Click, like, subscribe. Go to our YouTube page. Go to our YouTube page
Tell
and let us
somebody to
know,
listen to watch the show. Yeah.
and tell a friend and tell them to vote. All right. Our words for the week, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, thanks to Bobby. The way you love yourself is the way you teach others to love you.
Absolutely.
Amen.
All right. That is our words of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us tonight on this live show. Thank you for sticking with us. We took you a little over, but it was so much fun. And we look forward to seeing you next week on a new live episode of He Said.
He said.
He said.
Look, and what
I'm
he
leaving it alone.
And I'm just here for the party.
You all have a good week. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
tuning in, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.